Good morning, everyone. This is Quincy with Cousins Genealogical Research LLC. Again, that's motivator4401 at gmail.com. Again, motivator4401 at gmail.com. The last video that I did was regarding utilizing maps as a source of like documentation and just as a research material during your family searches. So the first part of the video, I kind of want to talk about that really quick. So I believe I left off at using older maps to show county lines and areas, which also would list the plantation owners' names, because sometimes they listed them, they were indicated via property that they owned on maps. So like this is a map from, I believe, 1880, from Colleton County, South Carolina, which, as you'll see, Walterboro there, but you'll see all of these names like Valentine, Waters, Williams, Glover, Fishburne, Sanders, Singleton. All of those names were the last names of like the property owners that owned property like along the Chesapeake Creek and the Ashipo and all of those areas, like the Witzel family down there, the Elliots, the Smiths, the Glovers, Champions, Manigaults. You'll see all those names. Most of those names just happen to be surnames of families that my grandparents descend from as well. So I just wanted to kind of piggyback on that. And then also, when you are using maps to show like areas that you believe your families lived on, worked on, or occupied, it's also very good to go back to older maps. So, okay, let me just do it like this. This is a book from 1893. Let's see if I can make it clear. There it is, 1893. Okay, so again, I got this map at auction on eBay. Can't remember how much it was, but it was a pretty penny. And so the reason I got the map is because it showed the boundary lines in the United States. And so as you can see here, this map is showing like the emancipation of the southern states. So this is just good when you look at county borders or state borders to see how the state borders changed, because sometimes when you do your research, you may be looking in a state that you assumed your family was from, but based upon the time and place that your research is starting, they may actually have been in another state. It's just that the borders changed. Okay, so that's the first part. So let me try to go back. So that was a good research for me. Research tool for me there. So today's video is pretty much going to be about Walterboro, South Carolina. And I'm saying Walterboro, but it's actually the whole Colleton County area. And today I want to talk about using books. All of the books that I'm going to be using today, I bought at auction online. Because I kept going to the library, and some of the libraries didn't have the books, and I would go to independent websites, and they would say it's only about 5 copies of these books left, and they didn't have any. So I started just going online, and I started just buying up books at auction online. So like this book here is a general history of Colleton County, a pictorial history of Colleton County. I got this book at auction, and as you will see here, I believe this book was, yeah, $100. But I think it's well worth it. I really do. So, for those of us that are researching like the Deep South, books like these contain images, which then have footnotes about specific areas that you may be researching, like right here. E.E. Bellinger's residence, the Bellinger name has came up like several times in my research, so sometimes I just like to put a visual to it. But before I jump into this book here, I really want to give you this book here. This is Plantations of the Lowcountry, from 1697 to 1865. This is an amazing book, and so when we open the book up, it has a map. Prayerfully you can see the map. And in the corner here, it says Plantations of the Lowcountry, South Carolina. And what you're looking at is the coast of South Carolina. Okay, if you look over here, it gives you the names of plantations all up and down the coastline. Okay, I just want to scroll through just so you can see some of these names to see if any of them may be where some of your ancestors were from. Okay, most definitely on this map here, I know for sure that there are at least 12 plantations that I have documented. Okay, so real quick, I just kind of want to read off, just for those of you that may also be researching the Colleton County, South Carolina area for your family's history. My family, as you know, is from Cottageville, South Carolina, which is right next to Walterboro, like near the Sheridan area. And through my research, I realized that there are probably about, should I say, 15 to 30 different surnames that are all interconnected. So anybody that's doing research from Colleton County, South Carolina, whether you're African American or European, what have you, we're probably all like related. But so I'm going to read the general names, and then I'm going to jump into some more information from these amazing books. Here's another book that I got from Walterboro, South Carolina. It's like a postcard history about the county. But really quick, I'm going to read the list of names. So for those of us that are African American that are researching our family's history from that area, the names that I match to via DNA from Ancestry and from Jeb Match would be the Brooks family, the Nesbitt family, the Holmes family, the Small family, the River family, the Fields, Rice, Manigault, Minigo, Chisholm, Middleton, Danners, Fishburne, Glover, Creel, Pinckney families. Okay, so those are like, that's my great grandparents. When you go from there all the way to the present, all of these families are like connected and are included in one family group, at least through my lineage. And so I encourage anybody that has any of the surnames that I just mentioned, please shoot me an email to motivator, motivator 4401 @gmail.com, and let's figure it out. Okay, so those are like the African American names, or the mixed African American names. Those are the people that would, like, they may have been a product of the slave owners or what have you. So now the Caucasian side of the family, European side, in the same area, like Colleton County. These are the names in Colleton County, really into like Allendale, Fairfax, Bamberg area. But like these are the names that like on the Caucasian side that I'm all connected to. It would be the Spell family, the Hayward family, the Lemix, the Huff, the Glover, the Gatch, the Sheraton, the Hoyt, the Smokes, the Pinckney, the Ackermans, the Gatch, Fishburne, and Horry family, and Larisi family, all from the same area of Colleton County, South Carolina. So when you're doing your research, it's good to get yourself like a little sheet of paper and write down all of your surnames, because trust me, it opens doors just to know how your family is interconnected. So any people on that side that those names ring a bell, please reach out to me. There is a book that was written from that's called The Narratives of Colleton County, South Carolina. The book was written by Beulah Glover. This book, I had them to print a copy for me. Again, I purchased this online, but this book is very rich in like history notes. So like you can see here, I'm just going to kind of read it to you. Plantations concerned along the Ashipo to Fish Pond to the Chichesi were plantations of Edward Finke, James Thiebaud, William Webb, Miles, Joseph Hunt, and it just goes on and on and on. Then you come down here. Oh, one of the names I didn't mention was Bellinger, because Bellinger is like one of the names I've been researching. But again, this book is like amazing. I haven't even got all the way through it, but you see my little stickies there. Okay, so that's number one. So get yourself some books from the area that you're researching. All of these books like that I have, they cost like money. So for those of you that are doing research, you got to set a budget for your research. Like if you're not spending money on your research or even hiring a researcher or having somebody make copies of maps, death certificates, marriage licenses, you're not going to get very far. I have a lot of people that email me and say, well, can you help me with my family research? And I'm like, yeah, I will. But, you have to pay for that time. And you also have to pay for the documentation because it costs. So please understand, if you're doing genealogical research, even if you're traveling to historical societies, if you're traveling to libraries in the counties that you're researching, it costs to go to those places. Even your hotel, putting gas in your car, your train ticket, what have you. Okay, so that's cool. What else did I want to share? Okay, whenever I do my research, I always try to find, like, how do I say it? Like common denominators or linkage between like a history of a specific group of people that may have formed bonds in different areas. Like I remember my great aunt telling me stories about my grandparents singing chants and doing all this like West African stuff down in like Colleton County and things like that. So what I did was I started researching books like this, The Origin of the Negro Spirituals and African Tribal Customs. This is a really good book. It's a very old book, but what it did was it helped break down things like this, like these songs that you see here. And what it did was it pretty much either confirmed or validated the usage of the same like verbiage in African songs as well, which also helped find out what specific group of people from Africa some of my ancestors may have been from. So like it's a like really good book. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know if you're going to be able to find it, but I'm willing to make copies for people that want it, as well as the book from 1893 for those of you that wanted it, a copy of it. All right, I'm going to pause the video real quick because I have a special surprise for everybody. So hold the line real quick. Okay, thank you guys for holding on. So I got a couple of surprises. I'm going to do another video in detail, but the first thing is this. One of the names that I mentioned that I was researching for my family was the Manigault name. And what I wanted to show you here, this is one of the Manigault papers, which I acquired through my research. And it's almost like a last will and testament. And what you will see here, I don't know if you can see, I tried to highlight it. It says Negro slaves with the future issue, yada, 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 on and on and on. But what you'll see, I want you to jump down here. Julia H. Manigault, Josephine Manigault and Emma Manigault. Alright, so basically, I have located a document that lists the names of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 of the quote Negro slaves, which were owned by H. Manigault, Josephine Manigault, and Emma Manigault. Okay, and I know that I had a great aunt named Nancy Manigault. So I wanted to kind of share this with you all for those of you that feel like you can't find documents with actual slave names, because people keep saying that, oh my goodness, all they were a number listed on the census record and you're never going to be able to find out their name. That is so not true. I'm back to like 1780 with the names of like my ancestors, and now I'm so far back, like I believe I'm almost back to like Cameroon, where they were boarded on ships, because you just have to check like the ship rosters and all that kind of thing. So I just wanted to share this with you because this is like so big to me. Oh, and here are this is the list of the slaves, and there's their value right there on the back. So you'll see here it says Gabriel Manigault, Bill of Slaves, Bill of Sale of Negroes. Isn't that crazy? That is so absolutely crazy. Okay, so that's part one. Okay, so the next surprise, and we're going to do another video on this. I got this at auction. I really don't want to open it up, but you'll see here it says from the year 1860, May 24th, 1860. This is a newspaper article, the New York Herald, and basically this newspaper here is talking about a slave ship. There's 2 articles in this paper that are talking about a slave ship, and it actually lists the names of the slaves that were on this slave ship that was captured by the U.S. Navy. So you'll see a little note here that says Slaves 3, Navy 3. Like it's absolutely amazing. I don't really want to open it up right now. But again, I will do another video, but it's just like really important that, look at the date on there. That is so crazy. Isn't it nuts? 1860, May 24th. Documentation beats conversation. Okay. So yes, I got this at auction online as well. For anyone that wants copies of anything, I will feel free to make copies of maps, books, whatever you need. Even if you need me to do research for you, I will. But people, we have to pay for time and things like that. I want to send a special thank you out to Millen, Georgia. I have a group of people down there that are doing research for me, and they were just so blessed by and encouraged by me doing research, that they put me in the paper in Millen, Georgia. So I received that a few weeks ago, and it was super exciting. So prayerfully, there it is, the Millen News, and I'll do an article on this as well, but let's see where I am. That's the article there. I reached out to a gentleman there to help me with some research. I had no idea that the person I was reaching out to was like a historian for the local Sons of the Confederate Veterans, and he really hooked it up for me. He helped me find my great-great-grandparents' burial ground in Hiltonia, Georgia. So this is the newspaper article. And so, don't give up on your research. Be encouraged. There are tons of people that would love to help. including me. So again, reach out to me at motivator4401 at gmail.com for those of you that are interested in having someone research your family history, for those of you that just want some more documentation or tools to help you break down those brick walls. People are always talking about brick walls, but brick walls are meant to be knocked down. So don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Remember, documentation beats conversation any and every day of the week. I am looking out for your emails. Motivator4401 at gmail.com. Share the video, and also please like Cousins Genealogical Research LLC, and I look forward to hearing from you all. Thank you.